Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, who is most beneficent and most merciful. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Wishing you a very happy and healthy morning today. It's your lecture number 10 here. Today we are going to discuss exercise of unit number 2, Chinese New Year. As we have completed the Urdu translation of our lesson number 2, now we have to solve the exercise of unit number 2. Our topics of today's lectures are vocabulary portion and then reading comprehension. And these portions are given on your textbook on page number 18, 19 and 20. I would suggest you that open your books side by side listening to me. And next one, in English B, today we are going to start our new question, that is Urdu to English translation of English paragraphs that are given in your grammar and compositions. My dear students, first see your glossary that is given on page number 18 of your book. Open your books on page number 18 and have a lead pencil in your hands. Now see these words. First of all, you have to prepare the spellings of these words very well. And then you will try your best to go through the meanings of these words, so that if any word is given in your objective paper for selection of a correct answer, you should be able to identify that which meaning may be of this word. For example, the first word is association. It means feeling that is connected with a particular event. As we are told in the lesson that black color is associated with the death, कि black color जो है वो स्याह रंग जो है वो मौत के साथ इसकी जो है वो निस्बत है. Celebrations means party or special event. Just this meaning is sufficient for keeping it in your mind. And next one is customary. It means usual for somebody. किसी का मामूल होना, आम बात होना किसी के लिए. Gatherings means bringing together, इकट्ठे करना. And lunar means, I told you in translation, also relating to the moon. Partake means take a part, हिस्सा लेना. Recipient means receiver, वसूल करने वाला. And reinvigorate means होता है strengthen, खुद को तवानाई देना, तक़वियत देना, मजबूत बनाना. Symbolize means to represent something by means of a symbol. To represent by means of a symbol. And traits means characteristics, qualities, khususiyat. You have to prepare the spellings of meanings of these words very carefully. Now see, next one, we are going to start part A, that is given on your page number 18 of your textbook, and it's vocabulary portion, and in vocabulary portion part A is words meaning. Now you may see on screen this page of your textbook on which part A of vocabulary portion is given. Give the meanings of each word as used in the lesson. Gatherings, customary, thoroughly, commonplace, partake, traits and reinvigorate. And you may see that most of the words we have read in our glossary words, and we have gone through their meanings. Then we are going to see that which meanings these words have. Now the part B of our vocabulary portion is noun formation. Some words are given and we have to make nouns from those given words. See these words. These words are given on page number 19 of your textbook. Part B is form nouns from the given words and use the nouns in sentences. First we are going to make nouns from these words. For example, first word is celebrate. Celebrate होता है जश्न मनाना. It is an action word. It is a verb and we have to make noun from it. We will make a noun by it celebration. Celebrate it means जश्न मनाना and celebration means जश्न. Like this we have to change every word into noun. Some words perhaps are verbs, and then maybe any word, adjective or any other part of speech. We have to make noun from these words. Now that how we would make nouns from these words. First one is that is the example. Celebrate means जश्न मनाना, action word, and noun is celebration, जश्न. Gather means होता है इकट्ठे करना, and gathering होता है इकट्ठ, इज्तिमा. It is noun. Gather इकट्ठे करना, it is a verb, action word. Symbolic means alamti. It is an adjective, and symbol means alamat. It is a noun. Prosper means तरक्की करना, and prosperity means खुशहाली या तरक्की. Decorate means सजाना. Action word, it is a verb, we have to make noun from it, decoration, सजावट. Encourage means होता है हौसला अफजाई करना. It is also an action word, it is a verb and we have to make noun from it. Encouragement, encouragement means होता है हौसला अफजाई. I hope so that these meanings are clear, these words are clear to you. Now see, next C part is translate the following paragraph into Urdu. I think so that this one is paragraph number 5 of your lesson, and you have read its translation. You will revise its translation and then you will try yourself to translate this paragraph into Urdu. Our next portion is, our next part of exercise is reading comprehension, and this heading there are many parts of exercise. First part is analysis of patterns of text organization. Choose the correct option. Some statements are given from the text of your lesson, and you have to choose correct options for these statements, that which answer is correct answer for it. For example, first one is Chinese New Year falls somewhere. चीनी साले नो कहीं पे भी आता है. कहाँ आता है? ऑन जनवरी 21st, 21 जनवरी को, ऑन February 20th, या between January 21st and February 20th. In very first paragraph, in last sentence we have read it that Chinese New Year falls somewhere between January 21st and February 20th. C is correct option of this statement. I hope so that you have opened your books and side by side you are marking your answers. Do it very carefully, because if you are going to mark your incorrect answers, then you will learn incorrect, and in this way you may lose your marks. And see, second one, paragraph number 1 gives general details of festivals, specific details of the Chinese New Year. It is not a general details of festivals. There is no description of different festivals of China. This paragraph is giving specific details of Chinese New Year. So B is correct answer of this statement. B is correct option. Specific details of the Chinese New Year is given in first paragraph. Now see remaining statements of this part of exercise. It is customary for families to thoroughly clean their houses. कि क्या मामूल है चीनी ख़ानदानों का कि घरों की सफाई कब तक उन्हें मुकम्मल करनी होती है? Before the first day of the new year, on the first day of the new year, on the second day of the new year. And I hope so that you have in your mind that it is customary for families to thoroughly clean their houses before the first of the new year, first day of the new year. A is the correct option for statement number 3. Mark it. Now see statement number 4. Hanging up signs and posters on doors and windows means love and sincerity, care and affection, luck and happiness. And you know that we have read in our lessons that Chinese are used to hang different posters and signs on the doors and windows with a Chinese word written on these signs and posters, for which means luck and happiness. So C is correct option for this statement. Now see fifth one and last one statement of this part of exercise. Envelopes are not to be opened until. लिफाफे कब तक नहीं खोले जाते? जब तक the giver has left the home of the recipient, कि जब तक देने वाला जो है वो वसूल करने वाले के घर से रुखसत ना हो जाए. The recipient has left the home of the giver has gone to sleep. The students who have read the text of their lesson very carefully, I hope so that they are able themselves to solve this part of exercise. And you know that B is the correct option, that envelopes are not to be opened until the recipient has left the home of the giver. Mark it. B is correct answer for this statement. Now my dear students, on page number 20th of your textbook, the exercise questions are given. But as you know that before learning the exercise question, first we have to discuss our text questions that are given side by side the different paragraphs of our lesson. Now see, this is your very first text question that is given in front of paragraph number 1. Why is Chinese New Year never on the same day? कि चीनी साल नो कभी भी एक ही दिन क्यों नहीं होता? We have read the reason for it. The date of the Chinese New Year is determined by the Chinese lunar calendar, which is based on the phases of the moon. कि जो चीनी साल नौ होता है उसकी तारीख जो है वो चीनी कमरी तकवीम के मुताबिक डिसाइड की जाती है, और चीनी कमरी तकवीम जो है वो चांद की मुख्तलिफ मराहिल पर जो मुश्तमिल होती है. साइकिल ऑफ द मून इज़ शॉर्टर दैन द सन, और चांद का गर्दिशी दायरा जो सूरज से छोटा होता है. एंड द डेट्स इन अ लूनर कैलेंडर वेरी ईयर टू ईयर, और जो कमरी तकवीम की तारीखें होती हैं वो हर साल चेंज होती हैं, बदलती हैं. दैट्स वाई द चाइनीज़ न्यू ईयर इज़ नेवर ऑन द सेम डेट ईच ईयर. इस वजह से चीनी साल नौ हर साल एक ही तारीख पर नहीं होता. As you know that the months that are based on the phases of the moon, they have different number of days. Sometimes they have 28 days, sometimes they have 29 days, and sometimes they have 30 days. That's why Chinese New Year is not on the same day because of this reason. Now see your second text question that is given in the front of second paragraph of your unit number 2 Chinese New Year on page number 16. What is Chinese belief about cleaning houses before New Year Day? कि नए दिन से पहले घरों की सफाई के बारे में क्या जो है वो अकीदा है इनका, चीनियों का. चाइनीज़ बिलीफ अबाउट क्लीनिंग हाउसेस, जो चीनी है उनका घरों की सफाई के बारे में अकीदा ये है टू क्लियर आउट एनी बैड लक फ्रॉम द प्रीवियस ईयर, कि पिछले साल की किसी भी बदकिस्मती को बाहर निकाल दिया जाए. एंड टू मेक द हाउस रेडी टू एक्सेप्ट गुड लक फॉर द कमिंग ईयर, और आने वाले साल की खुशकिस्मती को कबूल करने के लिए घर को तैयार किया जाए. दैट्स वाई दे पीपल बिलीव दैट देयर हाउसेज शुड बी क्लीन बिफोर द फर्स्ट डे ऑफ द न्यू ईयर. Now see third one question that is given in the front of paragraph number 4 of your lesson. It is given on page number 17. Why does this dinner consist of 8 or 9 dishes? It is asked that the dinner that is arranged on the eve of the new year, why it is consisted of 8 or 9 dishes, and we have read in the text of our lesson that the dinner consists of 8 or 9 dishes because in Chinese language the word 8 means prosperity and the word 9 means long lasting. कि लफ्ज़ 8 का मतलब जो है वो खुशहाली होता है और 9 का मतलब जो है वो देर तक रहने वाली होता है. दैट्स वाई with the association of the meanings of these words, the Chinese are used to prepare at least 8 or 9 dishes in the dinner of New Year's Eve. Now see last and fourth text question of your unit number 2. In Chinese belief about people having character traits of animals affect our opinion, कि ये जो चीनियों का अकीदा है कि एक जो जानवर है उसकी किरदारी खसूसियात जो हैं वो लोगों में आ सकती हैं जो उस जानवर के साल में पैदा होते हैं. एज आई टोल्ड यू इन माई लास्ट लेक्चर दैट द 2020 इज़ rat year in China. It means that they believe that the people who will born in this year, they may have the character traits of a rat. It cannot be a fact. It cannot be a true thing. It is an opinion. We may say that it is not a fact, it is an opinion. The answer of this question is it is an opinion. ये सिर्फ उनका ख्याल है and their opinion may be wrong. It may be a wrong notion. You have to prepare these 4 text questions today, and inshallah in next lecture we will discuss our exercise answers questions. Now we are going to discuss English B topic. And in English B today we are going to discuss Urdu to English translation of paragraphs. My dear students, these paragraphs are given in your grammar and composition, and in your paper you will be given an Urdu paragraph and you have to translate into English. Till now you have learned all tenses and you have a good knowledge of grammar, use of simple is, are, was, were, has, have, had, this and that, and in which sentences you have to use it and there as introductory paragraph. You have been taught all these things till the 10th grade, so that in 10th class at this level you should be able to translate yourself by applying the previous knowledge of your tenses and your grammar. We are going to start this part of our syllabus. I want to give you some instructions for English translation of an Urdu paragraph. first of all, you have first thing that you have to do, that you will not cram the translation of your paragraph. You will avoid cramming. रट्टा लगाने से परहेज करेंगे आप. And second one, prepare English vocabulary of every word of paragraph. If you want to translate a paragraph into English, you have a good knowledge of tenses, but you don't know the English of any Urdu word, you will not be able to translate your sentence completely. That's why your English vocabulary should be very good. You must prepare it specifically. Third one, apply your tenses previous knowledge for it. Whenever you are going to translate a paragraph, take every sentence one by one and then identify that which tense is used in this sentence, and then apply the rules of relevant tense, and then translate your sentences into English. And then last thing is that you have to translate paragraph into English in form of a paragraph, not in sentences form. Whenever you are going to translate your paragraph into English in your paper or in any test, or you are going to write any paragraph, you will not write in sentences forms. For example, first sentence, second sentence, you have to write, you have to translate your paragraph into paragraph form. Understand? I hope so that you will follow all these instructions for being a good English translator. Today we are going to discuss about paragraph number 1, that is given on page number 138 of your grammar and composition. First of all, I want to show you vocabulary for this paragraph. It means that some English words that you should learn before translation of this paragraph. Bloom means खिलते हैं. Fragrance means खुशबू. Spreads means फैल जाती है. Fill means भर जाना. Walk about इधर उधर फिरना. The next moment अगले लम्हे. Corner कोना. For a walk सैर के लिए. Look after देखभाल. These are the some words that you must prepare for translation of your paragraph number 1. Now see, this paragraph is given in your grammar and composition on page number 138. मेरे घर के सामने एक बाग है. इसमें बहुत से पौधे और दरख्त हैं. बहार के मौसम में कई रंग के फूल खिलते हैं. उनकी खुशबू इर्द गिर्द फैल जाती है. शाम को बाग आदमियों, औरतों और बच्चों से भर जाता है. लोग इधर उधर फिरते हैं और लुत्फ उठाते हैं. बच्चे बाग में दौड़ते हैं. अब वो यहाँ हैं और दूसरे लम्हे वो बाग के दूसरे कोने में हैं. हर शाम मैं भी बाग में सैर के लिए जाता हूँ. बहुत से माली बाग की देखभाल करते हैं. You may see that this paragraph is consisted of perhaps 10 sentences. Now I have shown here all sentences separately because today I want to discuss with you each and every sentence, and onward you will prepare your paragraphs yourself. For example, first sentence is मेरे घर के सामने एक बाग है. Now we have read in 9th class that if we talk about the presence of anything anywhere, we use there as an introductory subject. There को आप subject के तौर पे use करेंगे. और है, मेरे घर के सामने एक बाग है. It is showing that you have to use present tense for the translation of this sentence. Is will be used here. So you will translate like this: there is a garden in front of my house. Understand? इसमें बहुत से पौधे और दरख्त हैं. Now you may translate this sentence in 2 types. It has many plants and trees, and you may translate like this, that there are many plants and trees in it. Both of these translation are correct. Third one sentence is बहार के मौसम में कई रंग के फूल खिलते हैं. Now flowers of different colors, कई रंग के फूल, it is subject. खिलते हैं, present sentence, indefinite tense is this. That's why you will use first form of verb. Flowers of different colors bloom, not blooms, because your subject is plural. Flowers of different colors bloom in the spring season. इनकी खुशबू इर्द गिर्द फैल जाती है. T is showing that it is present indefinite tense again, and your subject is singular. That's why you will add s with first form of verb. उनकी खुशबू इर्द गिर्द फैल जाती है. Their fragrance spreads around means इर्द गिर्द. Their fragrance spreads around. शाम के वक्त बाग मर्दों, औरतों और बच्चों से भर जाता है. Now again it is present tense, and you will translate it like this: garden is subject. The garden is filled with men, women and children in the evening. 6th one sentence is पीपल, लोग इधर उधर फिरते हैं और लुत्फ उठाते हैं. पीपल वॉक अबाउट, फिरते हैं, ता है, ती हैं, ते हैं, इज शोइंग दैट these are present indefinite sentences, and you will follow the present indefinite formation method for translating these sentences, that is subject and first form of verb and then object. And if your subject is singular, then you will add s or es with the first form of verb. Now see, log idhar udhar phirte hain, subject is plural, that's why you have used just first form of verb. People walk about and enjoy themselves और लुत्फ उठाते हैं. बच्चे बाग में दौड़ते हैं, अगेन ते हैं, प्रेजेंट डेफिनेट टेंस, प्लूरल सब्जेक्ट, दैट्स व्हाई जस्ट फर्स्ट फॉर्म ऑफ वर्ब विल बी यूज्ड इन दिस सेंटेंस. चिल्ड्रन रन इन द गार्डन, बच्चे बाग में दौड़ते हैं. अब वो यहाँ हैं. नाउ इट इज ऑल्सो सिंपल सेंटेंस. हैं इज शोइंग इट इज प्रेजेंट टेंस, एंड हैं के लिए आप आर यूज करेंगे. नाउ दे आर हियर, और अगले लम्हे वो बाग के दूसरे कोने में हैं. अगले लम्हे के लिए आप वर्ड लेंगे द नेक्स्ट मोमेंट, दे आर इन द अदर कॉर्नर ऑफ द गार्डन, वो बाग के दूसरे कोने में हैं. हैं इज शोइंग दैट सिंपल यूज ऑफ आर यू इज हियर. दे आर इन द अदर कॉर्नर ऑफ द गार्डन. मैं भी शाम को हर रोज बाग में सैर के लिए जाता हूँ. ता हूँ अगेन प्रेजेंट डेफिनेट टेंस, यू विल यूज फर्स्ट फॉर्म ऑफ वर्ब. अंडरस्टैंड, आई ऑल्सो गो टू द गार्डन, मैं भी बाग में जाता हूँ. फॉर अ वॉक, सैर के लिए. देन यू विल राइट दिस एडवर्ब डेली इन द इवनिंग. नाउ यू मे सी दैट हियर इन दिस सेंटेंस 3 एडवर्ब्स आर देयर. जाता, आई ऑल्सो गो टू द गार्डन, मैं बाग में जाता हूँ. नाउ क्यों जाता है? फॉर अ वॉक. कब जाता है? डेली. ठीक है. एंड इन द इवनिंग, एडवर्ब ऑफ टाइम, एडवर्ब ऑफ पर्पज and adverb of frequency is 3 adverbs are present in this sentence. Now see last and 10th one sentence of this paragraph. बहुत से माली बाग की देखभाल करते हैं. Again you may observe this thing that in last sentence also present indefinite tense is used, because देखभाल करते हैं, ता है, ती है, ते हैं is the Urdu ending of present indefinite tense. And again your subject is plural, that's why you will use first form of verb look after, and then your object is here. Many gardeners look after the garden. I hope so that you will follow all these instructions, and like this you will take each and every sentence one by one. Then you will identify the tense, and then by following the tenses rules you will translate your every sentence in a good translation. And I told you that you will write your paragraph in paragraph form. Here I am showing in numbering because I have to discuss each and every sentence separately with you people. It means that today you are going to prepare all parts of exercise discussed today. It's a very easy task, and then you have to prepare paragraph number 1 English translation by learning its vocabulary and by revising the tenses that are used in this paragraph. Okay my dear students, Allah Hafiz, take good care of you.